So I'm currently behind the wheel of the 2023 Audi RS6 Avant, and I'm going to take some time to go through the interior of this thing. So starting as I normally do from left to right. Over on the left, you've got your window switches, you've got your rear mirror adjust right here, you've got a latch for the trunk release. Right here, you've got two different presets you can set for the driver seating position. You got your door latch, you got your door locks. You got a nice carbon fiber leather interior. You got some buttons for the lighting of the interior or the exterior of the vehicle for high beams as well as your auto. Moving to the center Audi virtual cockpit gauge cluster. So it is a full digital gauge cluster, and there are multiple screens and multiple views that you can enable. So this is currently set to the RS runway configuration, but there are more tame options you can set, but being that it is an RS6, I leave it on the RS screen. But each of the four top screens have two different view settings. So I like to leave it on the runway, but you hit the view button, which I'll showcase on the steering wheel. This is the alternative. For the music or media, whatever you're listening to, it'll be in the center. Phone, currently disconnected my phone, so nothing comes through while I do this video, but you have your mobile stuff there, navigation showcasing where you are, so now you know where I am. I usually leave it on this screen. Over on the left, you can kind of toggle it between some performance options as well. Over on the right, I like the power and the torque as well as the boost gauge down low. Moving to the steering wheel, how I was adjusting everything over there was left and right will get you between these different pages at the top. Up and down on this toggle will change the left screen over there. View button right here basically gets you between the two different views. Over on the right, you got phone button, talk, volume knob, tuner, left, right, and the RS button. So pushing that gets you in RS1 and RS2, or gets you out of the RS mode. So this is kind of the standard setting of the interior gauge cluster, which you can also set the standard to be something different, but you push the RS button and you get the cool RS1 runway screen immediately. On the back of the steering wheel, you get paddles, so down and up shifting, left and right. Bottom of the steering wheel features nice RS branding, give you a better look at the whole package. Moving to the navigation display, so there are basically 5 shortcuts on the left, starting at the top, home, which is all of this that you can see, whatever you're listening to, phone, navigation, basically presets for all that. Now it'll start you on kind of like this dashboard screen, but just going over to the right, showcasing the radio, media, phone, navigation, phone apps. So if you connect your phone, Apple or Android, it'll be Apple CarPlay, Android Auto via this bubble right here. And it is wireless, so you don't need to plug it in. But plugging it in kind of gets you the immediate access. Under vehicle, that's where all the kind of fun performance stuff is. So you have the Audi Drive Select, which is the drive modes of the vehicle. So there's also a toggle lower on the center console I'll showcase, but this will allow you to see the drive modes. That'll stay there. If you push the button that I'll showcase in a second, it kind of shows up and then disappears. But you have comfort, auto, dynamic, and then you also have the RS1 and RS2, which are fully customizable. So clicking on one, showcasing drive between balance, sport, suspension comfortable, steering balance, engine sound present, and the Quattro Sport differential balance. So that's kind of the settings, and I was just pushing that RS button, pushing it once gets you an RS1, and this is my RS1 options so far. Really just whatever journalist was before me, I kind of just left it in that because it was really good, all about package. But RS2, this is currently what it's set to, basically all nutty, everything sport. But also with the RS6, you have the RS monitor screen. So the first screen is basically all about the temperature of the vehicle. You can see, I just actually started it from my house. Everything's still not up to temp. It's all cold except for the engine and the coolant, the brakes, the transmission. They're still pretty cool. So if I were to hit the track, I wouldn't really want to do so with the vehicle in this current temperature situation. Scrolling over, you got another G-force meter. So you have the one on the gauge cluster, which I have set right now, but also right here. And then the tire pressures for all four corners, as you can see, can now be measured at speeds over 16 miles per hour, and we are currently stationary. You have efficiency assist, seats, air conditioning, lighting, parking aid, driver assistance, settings, favorites, you name it, you can pretty much change it. Backing out, so you have favorites, settings, you can even crazier, more settings other than the performance ones. Help, users, messages, weather, news, calendar, legal notes, and purchases. If I'm not using the Android Auto screen, I pretty much just leave it on the RS monitor screen because it looks cool when you're in an RS vehicle. Coming down from there, you have another full crisp clear display, but this is basically revolving around the air conditioning and heating controls of the vehicle, as well as some options such as the engine start stop, and you can turn off this whole screen if you want to as well. But everything is basically a touch sensitive button on the touch screen, so they're all mimicking real buttons, and it's not as I wouldn't say a bad experience, even it being, some people don't like so much touch. And with this screen, driving, I wanted to raise and lower the power of the fan, and I push it and it happens. It's not one of those like, oh, I hope it feels what I'm pushing. It felt everything that I was doing when I needed it. Coming down from there, this is where you have the up and down buttons for the drive select. So if you just push that once, push it, oh, there we go. So it's pushing me in the different drive modes as I'm pushing it. Now if I just let it go, it's going to disappear in a second. See, so that's why I went into the drive modes. But if you do it this way, they'll disappear, or the screen will disappear quick. You have the traction control off button as well, hazards, as well as the max defrost for the front and the rear. Back into the left, you have the engine start stop button right here in the center console. Parking camera button, so pushing that. Different views of the vehicle. I'm currently in an industrial park. Pushing again, you got parking, as well as some driver assist sensors around the vehicle. You have a volume and tuner knob right here as well, all the way on the right. Back from there, you've got two cup holders, as well as a 12-volt smoker's plug, as I say. To the left of that, you have your gear levers. So you have reverse, neutral, drive, and sport is just enabled differently by pulling back on it when you're in that gear. You can adjust the gears on this gear lever or on the back of the paddles, and then the parking brake is this button right here. You also have the parking brake toggle behind that as well. You got your center console armrest, reveals a charging pad as well as two USB-C plugs. This is a nice little cloth rag to keep all these touch screens nice and clean. Moving to the driver's or the passenger side, Quattro branding above the glove box. You can see the audio system sprinkled throughout the cabin. You can see it also pops up when the vehicle is on, both the passenger and driver side. Give you a better look at more of that carbon fiber interior. Color scheme of the door, and the same color scheme on the seats, featuring RS branding in the front and the rear. The front and rear both get their own sunroofs, all controllable up top right here. But that is pretty much the interior of the 2023 Audi RS6 Avant. If there are some features I didn't go in depth enough on, be sure to leave your questions or comments below, and I would love to find you some answers if I can. Thanks for watching.